it's Angel Brown again. Back to you. Last time we met, we were going through the criteria and constraints of identifying a problem. This time we're going to practice that step one again, but we're going to go on to step two of the problem-solving process, which is research. Okay, now remember the last time that I had given a video, I said I have a learning progression for my kids. So for step one, identify the problem, I had said I just want you to know the difference between a criteria and constraint, and I want you with a little bit of help to try and identify all the constraints of a problem. This time we're going to go up to learning level 2. This time you need to know the difference between a criteria and a constraint, and I want you to be able to identify all the criteria and constraints in your own. So an example might be, I would open up my engineering journal to page 1, I'd look at my two definitions, and I'd try and put them together into a well-worded sentence. So, for example, I might say, well, I think that a criteria is everything my client is asking me to do, and a constraint are all the things that they don't want me to do, or the things that I only have a little bit of, like budget or time. That might be an example of a sentence you could write to me. Make it even fewer words if you can. Okay? And then you have to try and start identifying all the criteria and constraints on your own. So, let's go ahead. We're going to practice a new challenge. So we'll read it through, then we're going to go back and identify criteria and constraints. This one reads, my client Samantha Barr has asked me to design and build a product that will increase the amount of heat and air around her apple slices so they'll actually dry faster. She already has one drying rack. Oh, she has several drying racks she's inherited from her grandmother, so she doesn't want the rack to be part of the design. You will have a budget of $50 and 5 business days to complete your work. All right, let's back up now and highlight all the criteria and constraints. So first, our client is Samantha Barr. She wants us to design and build, let's see, something that will will increase heat and air around her apple slices. Okay, if you're noticing, I'm not highlighting everything, I'm only picking out the words I really want. So she wants us to design and build a product that will increase heat and air around her apple slices. Okay, I think we can put those together. She already has drying racks she inherited, so she doesn't want the rack to be part of the design. I want to make sure I remember that. I'll probably write it under criteria, but it is a constraint. We have a budget of $50 and 5 business days. All right, let's write it up. Okay, so here we have Samantha Barr was our client. You can see I already wrote it up. We're going to design, let's see. I'm going to erase this because it doesn't look like I did it correctly. All right, I'm going to get my pen up here.
Students and staff, it is time for the announcements.
Design.
Girls soccer may be excused at this time as they will be boarding a bus over to Chisago Lakes this afternoon. So staff, if you please let the girls soccer, both 7th and 8th grade girls soccer, please be excused at this time to go change and head out to the bus. Girls, bus 34 is right out front. That is the bus you'll be taking. Following students, please come to the office. Summer Ball, Devin Hyde, Taylor Price.
I said I want to design and build something
Princeton Annual Code Drive will be starting.
Well,
twice a week, the student council will be collecting codes. No fans past Princeton starts for the Princeton Annual Code Drive to help Princeton families in need of winter clothing. The collection will be beginning this week. Students can deliver their items to Mrs. Farmer's room, room 805, to enter a chance
I believe it's
for a drawing to win miscellaneous prizes. So that is the annual Code Drive.
5 business days.
Again, girls soccer, head out to the bus, and I think that's it. Oh, Paige Drews, please come to the office, and Rachel Cooley,
$50.
come to the office. Emily Moore, come to the office, please.
We know who we're working for, what we have to do, how much time we have, and our budget. Okay, that's an awful lot, and it gets me overwhelmed sometimes. So that's when I go to step 2 of the engineering process, which is research. And I'll think to myself, what are the things that I actually have to research? Well, when we looked at our criteria, it said something that brought heat and something that brought, like a fan, air. Okay, and it also talked about some sort of drying rack. The problem is, even though I don't have to build it, I don't really know what that is. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some research on all 3 topics. So the first thing I did is I looked up a drying rack. Okay, so this was the picture that I found online. Very nice. So my topic is the fact that I looked up a drying rack. And then when it came to online, what you want to do is, I had just looked in Google and I had looked under images. And I brought up the actual image.
Picture retakes are this Thursday. If you're interested or needing to get your picture taken for the first time, please come to the office and get an envelope from Fred at the front desk. That's for pictures. This Thursday.
It will actually say the website that it's on, and it says lumberjocks.com. Okay, so I will go back to here and I'll put website was lumberjock.com. That's what I want for website. And then the date is just today's date, month and year. So I'll put October of 2015. And now I'm going to ask for 3 specific kinds of notes. I want to know what it looks like. I want to know what it's made out of and how it works. To do the looks like, really, you can just cut and paste a picture. It's just fine. Move that back over. What it's made out of, I think I'm going to actually just list it right here in the picture. This is wood beams right here. These are screens right there. And if you were really close to the picture, it looks like it's nailed together. All right, so here I have what it looks like, the actual picture. I have what it's made out of. I just labeled it. Now how it works. So apparently, I went onto the website and I read up a little bit on it. You set each of the apple slices on here, you put it out in your backyard, and you just let the natural airflow dry it. So how does it work? Using natural airflow above and below the apple slice to dry them. Now over here it's asking me for the big idea. So out of all this information, I really have to think about what is it I really want to remember. Now I know I'm not building a drying rack, so that's not really all that important to me. But what I did find interesting is the airflow above and below, because that's going to help me create my product. So my big idea, I'm just going to quickly write airflow above and below. Okay? All right, and then what I would do is I would go to my next one, and I would probably do some research on fans. It's the only thing I can think of to increase airflow. And my next one would probably be heating lamps, something like that. So what you want to do again is you're just going to figure out what is it you actually need to research, and then go ahead and look them up online, taking notes. Don't forget your website, today's date, the topic. Go ahead and put a picture in there and answer the 3 questions. What does it look like? What is it made out of? How does it work? And then for you, pull out the big idea. What is the one thing you want to remember so that when you go to build your product, you can have that element into it. So hopefully that helps you for the research part. Again, don't forget, email me if you have questions.